Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm going to be covering today some local things I found that I thought might be of interest to people. And we're going to start off with reptiles. What you're seeing here is a milk snake I found in a sand prairie. It was actually underneath a piece of rotting log there. Not an area I tend to find a lot of snakes. Rotting logs are better for salamanders and amphibians, but in this case it did prove fruitful, as it occasionally does. The next milk snake was found underneath a piece of plywood, and that's an area where I think I've only checked there a few times, but I pretty much find a milk snake there every time I look. And final thing is a gray tree frog that I pulled out of a swimming pool. As it turned out, I really didn't need to help him on land. I've been watching that swimming pool. It's abandoned. It's full of gray tree frogs. And they're making it out just fine on their own, climbing up the side. So since then, I've just been monitoring them. Some of the tadpoles have gotten quite large for a gray tree frog, and the majority of them are probably on land by now. But there's still quite a few in there that are turning on there as of very late August 2023.
So here's a closer look at one of the gray tree frogs. I got him over here in the shade. There's some tall vegetation. There's some grasses. He can hide in that if he wants to be down low. And there's some taller vegetation he can climb up in if he wants to go up high. But you can get a good look at him here. There you go, buddy. You're free.
Here's a few interesting birds I've seen recently. This one I think is a juvenile eastern towhee. The next one is a black-throated blue warbler, which I just think is a really beautiful bird. And then we've got a broad-wing hawk that I was able to watch for a few minutes. And finally, we're going to get into the mammals. So to find mammals, I try to go out very early in the morning and look for trails that are lightly used by people. If I'm out later in the day, I look for signs that mammals may be in an area, so I know if it's an area worth coming back to early in the morning or not. For example, here's some moose tracks that I've used a Ziploc bag for size reference. One of the things that I've been working on is to slow down my movement and to move more silently, and that does seem to be helping. You can see a coyote here I was able to get fairly close to. I'll show you some other videos of some bears I was able to find. And then a mouse I found. I was actually looking for snakes in a sand prairie, and I lifted up a log, and he kind of just, usually they go down a hole or something, but this one ran to a nearby bush and stayed there for a moment.